Okay, we're going to work on the pressure relief valve, pop off valve, or whatever. It's really not a pop off valve though. It's just a pressure relief valve. So we're gonna, and I got a piece, a 1/2 inch cold rolled steel here. We're just going to turn a 250 on the end here for the threads. The lathe hasn't been running, so I need to shift to a low gear here and run it a little bit. Get the oil circulated. At. Where'd that in the mic? Okay. We are at 302. 52 thou to take off of there. So we'll take 40. Leave 10 for a should be about 10 to 12 thou left. All right, that sounds good. Now we're going to put some threads on that. We use a thread die, and yes, I know it's cheating. When I was working in a tooling shop, you didn't want to do that because if you did that, the threads more than likely are not going to run concentric to whatever you're. So you always wanted a single point. But I'm not worried about concentricity of the threads here. So we're just going to use a die. And that is a quarter 32. Quarter 32. And I'm going to put some Molly D on there. Firm believer in Molly D. In case you haven't heard me mention that yet. It's, in my opinion, one of the best tapping and running dies and stuff for any, like stainless for sure. Stainless and titanium. You want to run Molly D on there. It's a high sulfur oil. It stinks. Grant you that. It does stink. But it performed very well for tapping hard material. High chrome you know, steel and hard moly chrome or whatever. So there's the threads. The hole, there was a hole in the scrap in a ways. I'm going to go ahead and drill that deeper. When I drill that deeper, I've got some parts that I'm going to use. I've got this little cap right here that I'm going to use. I just want to make sure I don't drill bigger than that. And I don't remember what diameter that was, so I will measure it. That was a 225 diameter. So I'm going to drill it about a 160, 170, somewhere in there. Okay, drill here. I'm just going to drill it deep enough to actually, you know what? I'm going to drill it. I'm going to drill it smaller than that. It's kind of big. Drop down to 140. Drop down to 140. All right. And we'll take and drill that. Should be deep enough. Now I want to turn the major diameter of that 1/2 inch. I plug in for my camera. For my little camera. So and I think we made those collars at 3/8. No, 1/2 inch. So if we go down to I'm going to take it down to 300. So I'm going to take a couple hundred thou off of that. Nothing critical here. There's 100. Actually, I think 100 would do. Of course, if I want to go back and do I have a 7/16? Yeah, I do. I'm going to say take another 25 or 20, 30. I'm going to take 30 thou. The reason is if I go back and I want to put it in a collet after I knurl it, I'll still be able to do that. don't have all the polish, so I gotta kind of pick and choose here. All right, so now we're gonna get my knurling tool here, my homemade knurling tool. I just put the wheels, mounted the wheels on a holder blank. Okay. Yeah, I touched there and I made sure both wheels were touching. So now I'm going to go in 10, 20, a little over 20 thou, and then I'm going to kick this down to as slow as she'll go. Dab some goop on there, and we'll see if we can get a knurl. Some type of knurl. I want a little bit of a knurl because you're going to turn that in by 3 fingers. So. I don't know if I went deep enough or not, but we'll find out. That's good enough. Like I say, it doesn't have to be much of a knurl. I'd say that's about a half knurl, which means that they don't come to a full point. They're about halfway to a point. Chamfer tool. Well, I thought I had a chamfer tool set up, but I might have torn it down yesterday. I got a threading tool, I'll use that. Just one little chamfer on that edge. Get back up to part off tool. Hit that backside with a file. There we go. Find it here. And that's all it looks like. Now all I need to do is find the screw and put that top on it and a spring. So I'll be back when I'm over on the surface plate and we'll show you how I put it together. And then we'll set it too. I'll set the pressure. Okay, I think I may have found the spring small enough. I got a 440 screw here. So we'll just take and we'll put that spring on. We'll go through that piece we just made and we'll screw the top on it. If I can get it started here. There we go. And screw that top on. And now when the pressure gets high enough, it'll push it open. So we're going to take the whistle out. And we're just going to put it into place of the whistle. And I got my pressure regulator here. We're going to see where it starts to leak. Turn that in there. Okay. Now, get some air over here. It's set pretty low right now. It's at 10 pounds right now. It already starts leaking at 10 pounds. Right there where she's starting to leak and blow out from underneath. It'll be enough to run it. Let's go up to I think I'm going to take a couple loops off of it, off of that spring. Just a little bit tighter than what I would like. Now, if this was a high pressure boiler, we wouldn't be testing it this way. We would be testing it with water. We'd have water in there. And you know what? I'm going to try a pen, because there's a pen spring here that out of an old ink pen. Let's see where that takes me. Well, I'm going to cut some of it off. Where's my little snippers at? I'm going to cut that much off. This is just trial and error. If I can't find anything, then I will wind one up that I think will work. If you get too much, you can increase it by just stretching it out a little bit. Now, granted, when it gets hot, it might run higher. Actually, might run lower. That's pretty high at. Let's see. We'll see what it does. Okay, turn up the pressure here. There's about 5 pounds. Feels like it might be starting to leak. 10 pounds is definitely leaking. Alright, still a little high. Alright. Take a little more off of the spring. Like I say, just kind of playing with it. If I had a nut on here, I could run the nut up and down instead of cutting the spring. But I'm just going to cut the spring. I cut about 2 loops off. Okay. I think this is going to be it right here. I just have this feeling. All right. That 20 pounds. That 20 pounds is leaking. It's leaking pretty good. There's 10 pounds. It's leaking a little bit. I think I'm gonna leave it there. All right. So we're ready to actually do a steam up. Well, I will get some hot water and fill that up. Get the burner out here, and we'll create some steam here. This will be the first time that it's been run on steam. So I'll put my springs away until next time. So I'm going to cut away here and then put hot water in there and get the burner. Okay, we're waiting for some steam to build up. And got my little burner underneath. I don't know if that burner is going to have enough oomph. I should have pulled the wicks out a little bit to give it a little more flame. Just going to try to get you down here so you can actually see. I see the batteries flashing. Battery's going to go dead. But you can see the little flames underneath. Like I say, there's not. I should have pulled the wicks out a little bit. So I'm not sure if it's going to have enough. I see some steam coming out up there a little bit. Ouch, that's hot. Let's open up the valve here and see. We got steam on the whistle? Oh yeah. Let's open this valve up. Oh yeah, it's running. Running on steam. I didn't think that burner would be enough oomph. Apparently boiling the water. Not boiling it rapidly though. Enough to run at that RPM. The water level is... It's got a little bit of a drip here. Water level's up about half of the glass. First steam up. Nice and quiet. I don't know if I mentioned I wrapped string with actually sheetrock compound around it to see, got a little bit of a steam speckle there too. Ain't got much steam left in there, but it's still running. Not enough to whistle with. Not enough to blow the whistle. Turn this down and off. Let the steam build up a little more. But yeah, I got a little bit of a little bitty leak right there. Right here. Got some more steam. the spring on this handle brings her back, so you can, which is, I've got it so that the spring is wound and it connects, it catches on both places, so it's acting like a torsion spring plus pushing on it. Let's see if it'll run the other way. It's still a little stiff with the eccentric. Oh yeah. You'll run the other way too. How much water I got left? It's down about, right about just above the fitting, so it's just quite a bit of water. Cool. I probably will never ever run it on steam again, so I usually run my engines on air. So I'll have to dry it all out when I'm done here. This is just for just to show. That little burner, it's picking up enough steam to run it at a pretty good pace. I like it. It'll be another one to put on the shelf. I think I'm going to paint that though. I'm going to paint that black. And well, that'll be about it. I'll maybe put a sticker on it, a new sticker. It doesn't have a sticker on it. I'll print out a sticker on a sticky and stick on there for Weeden. And as far as painting, I might paint this over here on this side back to the original color. I'm gonna take the burner out. The burner I made, I don't know if I mentioned that, it's just 2 pieces of sheet metal folded up and coming to a stop. So now I'm gonna have to clean it out and get the water out of it and blow some air through it. Let's see if I can. Ooh, that's hot. It's hot. Cool. First steam up. She's a done deal now. Like I say, I'm pretty much done with it. I might give you one more look after I might touch up the paint here a little bit. Since I'm never gonna run it with a burner, I'm gonna see if I can get some paint to match this real close and maybe touch up some of the paint on this, especially this side. This side gets burnt off, and then put a Weeden sticker on here, down underneath. Even though that motor is not a Weeden. Maybe I should put some other, like, Weeden Plus. No, I don't know. I'll think about it. But now I got to figure out what I'm going to work on next after this. What was I going to work on? Not sure. So anyway, I'll have to get this posted